GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Wingstop. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson. Yeah!
Well. Waiting on the captain right quick. This is the Black Shirt and the Captain Show on 93.7 The Ticket. Here's the captain. That's right. Did you miss me? Y'all ain't got no energy. Get the energy going, baby. Do the call tonight. One in a wake up. One day in a wake up. Oh my God. Yes, sir. Look out. It's the captain on the ticket, 93.7. I'm with the Black Shirt. I'm with
Cove.
And listen, fresh, hot from the presses, the native son, Lincoln, Nebraska, two-time national champ, been in the NFL for so long, 172 pick overall, 5th-round draft pick of the Seattle Seahawks, my big brother, Eric Stokes.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate that Stevie Wonder introduction, by the way, too. That was a nice throwback.
Yeah. Hey, listen, see, Stokes, now you get ready to make me throw you all the way back right now. Give me the Fat Albert. Give me the Albert.
Oh, 1 second here.
I do not know the album. I don't have that. I can't go that far back. That's a little too deep.
Are you kidding me right now?
I don't have the album off the top of my head.
Listen, I said, I only told you one part. I said the Albert.
Oh, the Albert.
Hey. It's Fat Albert. And I'm going to sing a song
for you. That's what I like to think when I think of all of us.
You'll have some fun now.
With being all the gang.
Learning from each other.
While we do our thing. Nah. Oh, my goodness. I'm talking about that one, E. You remember that one?
I do remember that one.
All right. So, Stokes, I got to get right into it. Turn it off, Bob. Matter of fact, the Black Shirt, Terrell Farley's with me, too, E.
What's up, E. Stokes, my brother?
How you doing, T?
I'm doing all right, man. Good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, good to catch up.
Okay, so E, I'm going to play it backwards. Okay, you are at the Washington Football Commanders.
I am.
And it's getting down to the wire. You know, you are pro personnel, like senior guy. You've been in this thing for 20 years. Give me just where you guys are with it. What is going on in East Stokes' world right now as we speak?
Yeah, I mean, we're really winding down now. We have our last preseason game coming up on Saturday night, and we're playing the Baltimore Ravens. So from there, we're our last round of cuts. So, you know, we have a lot online. You know, we have a lot of players that we're evaluating right now and, you know, looking to get down to that final 53 from coming off a 90-man cut. So, you know, we have a lot of decisions to make, a lot going on. And, you know, obviously we want to knock on wood and have a health come out of a healthy, you know, final preseason game. But yeah, we'll have to make some tough decisions as we get to Sunday and Monday, and kind of get to our final 53 roster as we get to Tuesday.
When you looking at an NFL guy and a guy that you want to keep around, what does that guy, for a college player listening, what does that guy look like?
Consistent. That's what I can tell you. Consistent. That is smart guys, tough guys, and guys that are available are always going to give themselves a chance to compete. And, you know, those are the things that we're looking for. And it's still very underrated. I think, you know, because most of those things are intangible, so to speak, right? Because it's not always about the athletic talent. There's plenty of athletic talent up here at this level. You know, everyone's pretty much all the same, but you know, really how you do separate yourselves is from an intangible standpoint, availability standpoint. So that's really what it comes down to. And honestly, too, a little bit has to do with the more you can do. You know, and that also plays a role because when you have limited rosters. Like we do, being able to have some positional flexibility, being able to contribute on special teams, that separates guys out as well.
Talking to Eric Stokes, two-time national champ, drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, been all over when we talk about scouting, with Seattle. How long were you with Seattle in the scouting department?
Man, I was with them for 12 years. So what's crazy is I'm in my 22nd year in the NFL, 25 total, including my time playing with both Seattle and Cleveland. So yeah, I mean, I've really carved out a career. I've been with 5 different organizations. I've worked with 9 different head coaches, 7 different GMs. So I've been around the way, man. I've found my way and made my way in this league over time.
What's been, and I'm not, what's been the most interesting stop along the way as far as team goes?
Well, I think every situation, this is what you learn as you kind of have the career that I've had, and you kind of have an opportunity to go through different buildings, is they're all unique. They all have their different challenges. They all kind of, it's always, everything's different. Nothing about our league is the same. Everything is, so organic and so fluid, and, the challenges really that you have to deal with every day, the problems that you are working to solve are different in every building. And so that's really what I could, really kind of tell you, coming out of it, just again, being in with some different organizations.
22 years of NFL football. Who is the most talented player you've ever either recruited, been around? Who would you say in the NFL is the most talented player in your career?
I would say I kind of have my 1 percenter, so it's funny you bring that list up. I would put Walter Jones in that category. I would put Julius Peppers in that category, and I'd put Adrian Peterson, our 3 guys. And then I would say, even though, maybe he didn't win a ring, but Cam Newton is one of those guys that just rare. Just those guys are just rare in every way.
I'm looking at Terrell like,
Okay.
no, but wait, hold up. See, because I'm let me skip over here. Now I'm gonna skip back around to what we really came to talk about. Being from Lincoln East, a Lincoln East grad, a Lincoln East great. How is it? How did you make it to Nebraska? What was your upcoming? What did you, as far as Nebraska goes, Nebraska football? Who recruited you?
Yeah, going back, ironically, the late Jack Pierce, God bless his soul. I saw that he passed away recently. Played a role in that recruiting process for me. And but what I would say was interesting. I was really leaning towards trying to leave the state. I was kind of conflicted on that initially, which is really crazy at the time. But you have to kind of remember when I was kind of coming up at that time in the 90s, there weren't a lot of local guys that were making it and having a great deal of success. And so I really wasn't sure how to really, I really wasn't sure about my feelings on that initially. But I would tell you, I mean, I went to the football camp at Nebraska, and that really changed everything. It really changed my trajectory all the way around because, to your point, I'm at a school at Lincoln East. And, I had a very successful junior year as a running back. I go to Nebraska's football camp, and really that's what put me on the map. I mean, I came out of that camp after 3 days. Coach Osborne offered me a scholarship. As the camp concluded, I went to his office and sat down and said, hey, no matter what happens to you in your senior year, no matter how it goes, I want to promise you a scholarship. And obviously, going back, letting my folks know, really changed everything, but it also opened up a lot of doors. After that, I had a lot of colleges that kind of came out of nowhere as well, interested in my services. So, but at the end of the day, it was impossible to pass up Coach Osborne and the staff and everyone. And it's a decision that, obviously it worked out incredibly well. And I'm just so appreciative, and I just have a lot of gratitude for, just so many people that helped me along that journey, and really played a role in making me who I am today. And obviously that includes coach and the coaching staff that was there, and then also a lot of the support people, as whether it was academics and the training staff, and we had just a lot of great people there at Nebraska helping us and supporting us along the way.
Hey, you get to the University of Nebraska. You're a true freshman. What's going on now in your mindset? Once you step foot on Memorial Stadium, and you had to deal with some of the guys you had to deal with.
Yeah, you know what? It actually was fast because I had come off playing the Nebraska All-Star game
Shrine Bowl.
that summer. So I played in the Shrine Bowl, but I got really sick at the Shrine Bowl. So I show up for camp, and I'm like down maybe 10, 15 pounds and not well, and it was moving fast. I was like, man, okay, this is completely different. So for me, my transition actually was a little slow. I think it took me about a month before I really got my legs underneath me. And, by that time I had been declared as a red shirt and so on and so forth. So, but I will tell you, it was definitely eye-opening, the pace, the tempo, the competitive nature of how the practices were, how physical the practices were, which is, not something that, we really see much today. And I certainly don't see in my world. So, I mean, just, really an eye-opening and just an appreciation for how that all worked in terms of our tempo, our preparation, and how we did things.
The physicality, you talked a little bit about that as far as the physicality and not seeing that. Is that something that is going to go completely by the wayside? The further we get into this thing, is that going to go completely to the wayside, being physical in practice?
I think we're getting to that point. I don't know if we're there yet. I think as we, obviously there's a lot of studies that are taking place, and everyone's very well aware of, CTE and whatnot, with the studies that are going on with that. But I don't think we're there yet. But I could see that shifting, in the next, 5 to 10 years, and just overall in terms of how we're treating athletics. Obviously, one of the things that that we're really pushing right now, and you're hearing a lot about, is flag football and how we're really endorsing that. I can't say that I could see the NFL ever move at any point right now, anytime in the nearest future, moving to a point where we're seeing flag football. But certainly the wellness, the players' health is something that is on people's minds. And obviously we have several studies that are taking place, that are continuously taking place to enhance player safety.
That being said, I it made me think about the All-Star game, the Pro Bowl this past year. To me, if you're gonna have that level of, not really playing football, why not just do like a celebrity flag football game? That way the guys.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, because I do see the Pro Bowl changing. I think you're going to see I could see the possibility of just getting rid of it entirely. And two, I think exactly what you're saying. I could see that turning more into some type of flag football event. But I think that, obviously the biggest, probably conflict with the league that they have is, they want to promote the game, and we want to promote the game's best players. And, I think it's just about trying to find the best way. What is the best way to actually do that? And so I'm sure that that's just something that the league is continuing to kind of struggle with. How do we find that balance?
Talking to Eric Stokes, two-time national champ, Washington Commander, senior pro personnel director. Eric, when you were at Nebraska, who was that big brother guy? Who was that guy that kind of took you under his wings, showed you the Nebraska way of doing things?
You know what? I thought what was unique, I wouldn't say that there was any one person. I thought it was really about our class, and just our class as a whole coming together. I came in, myself and Mike Minner, Jamal Williams, Michael Booker, and then prior to that, we had Tony Veland, we had Toby Wright. I mean, we had so many, great models in terms of guys that were, coming in at that time, and everyone was, very helpful. Guys supported one another. So, I would say that, like anything, man, it takes a village, right? And I feel like that's exactly what took place. I think particularly in that DB room, even going back to Kenny Wilhite. I mean, so John Reese. So there were always Tyrone Bird. I mean, I kind of can go on and on, because we had examples in front of us every day of what it should look like and how to model that. And so, as you kind of come up and you're, for example, as I was a redshirt, I saw those guys, Tyrone Birds and the Kenny Wilhites and John Reese's work. And then as I, took another step, next thing you know, it's the Toby Wrights that are, taking that step and showing that leadership. And then eventually it becomes your time. And then you see, Tony Villains and Mike Minners and Bookers and so on and so forth. So I thought that was what was so unique about being in Nebraska and just being able to, grow as a group and having those guys, always supportive.
When you talk about adversity, you got hurt at the University of Nebraska. Talk a little bit about, getting hurt and then recovering, rehabbing, and then coming back stronger than ever before.
Yeah, I talk about that now, even still, because that's something that's really carried with me even in my career, because I'm in a tough business. And so being resilient is one of the things that, I feel like is as a part of my core, so to speak. And it really started to some degree dealing with that. So I had a benign tumor that I actually ended up fracturing my hip. So going back, I actually fractured my hip. But at the time, I thought I just pulled a muscle. I had a strain. And it was continuing to bother me. So finally, they decided to x-ray me. And of course, to everyone's horror, and I can never forget the look on, everyone's faces, including my folks, seeing my pelvic and hip bone basically hollowed out with fracture in it.
Wow.
And so as it turns out, it was a tumor, and I went through all kinds of, MRI imaging, you name it, I did it. Praise God, I had a benign tumor. I did not have cancer. I really wasn't sure. So, at that time as a, 19, 20-year-old, kid, it was more than just, well, I think my career is over. Like I was really wondering, was I going to be dealing with cancer? But
and
this
this
had,
is this
again,
is 1994, Stokes.
With so many people, to this day, I always remember Dr. Neff, who performed my surgery, and always reassured me that things were gonna be right. And I had an option at that time. I could either be in a wheelchair for 17 weeks, or I could be in crutches. And I chose crutches for 17 weeks, and that's how I managed it. And I continued to still work out in the weight room and work my crutches while I was on that whole time. And I didn't miss a beat. I actually ended up playing in the Kickoff Classic at the time. I think we played in New Jersey. We played in New Jersey. We played West Virginia. Played in that game, and then unfortunately, later in the year, Mike Minter suffered a knee injury pretty early in that year against Texas Tech. He did his ACL, and then I ended up being a regular in the starting rotation just like that. So, and really that set the trajectory for the rest of my career there at Nebraska.
So this would have been 94.
This was, so this was 94, correct.
Because I remember you got swole, walking on them crutches and stuff. So he getting swole on them
crutches for 17 weeks will do that.
Them bricks you still got them bricks on you?
I've managed to stay in pretty good shape.
Well, I saw the picture, 20 years later, you still look the same. I don't even know. It's like Coach Brown. Y'all defying time right now. Was it the creatine? You think it was the creatine?
No, I tell you, a safe bet right now is to keep a shaved head and a shaved face, and that will hide the gray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, because my gray is everywhere right now. I can't cut it until we win. We got to win 3 straight, and then I'll cut it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to 95. Talk about winning. Well, let's back up. Talk about winning in 94 first, and how that set up 95.
Man, it's so funny for me. So team-wise, I think coming out of that 94 year, we knew as a team, I don't think there was any doubt that we were going to win back-to-back, to be quite honest with you. That was just an entirely different tone, because, 94 was more about breaking through, right? You're breaking through because you're beating a Miami team who had, beaten you badly during the 90s when you had a chance to face them in the Orange Bowl. So, 94 was kind of about getting the monkey off our back, and particularly for Coach Osborne. I think the 95 season, that was more of an unleashing about just how good our talent was. And I think what was so unique about that 95 team, and why to me it's one of the greatest teams ever, is that's a team that not only was talented but reached its talent potential. And that doesn't often happen, where you can have talented players. We've all been around talented players, but not often do all talented players reach their potential. And I would say that one thing that was truly unique about that team was everyone on that team was playing to their full potential. And that's literally why we routed everybody we came across.
That means we were 3, 4, 5, 6 deep at the same position. Somebody go down, next man up, next man up, next man up. So
I'll say this: I've had the pleasure, and it's been a minute, but I've had the pleasure of talking to Nick Saban, who at that time when we played it in that '95 season, we went up to Michigan State. He was the head coach, and he actually still talks about that team. Like, is that? I mean, and this is a guy that's coaching, as we know, Alabama right now as one of the premier programs. So, so we left. Let me just say, we left an impression.
Well, after smashing him, you look at what Nick Saban has done at Alabama, and you look at the consistency. You look at the play calling. Look at the, their run first, pass second type team, smash mouth, defense oriented team. Yeah, you know that the impression we left our footprint on Nick Saban's chest is still there. It's a big N on his chest from when we ran over him. He's like, I'm an honorary Nebraska guy. So talk about when you got your black shirt, how it happened, and what it means to be a black shirt.
So I received my black shirt, and it's funny because I literally know this. That lets you know how special that is to me. I actually have kept all my black shirts. I actually have them in a keepsake somewhere. So that's another thing. Not only do I have all my jerseys, but I did keep all my black shirts as well. So I received my black shirt my sophomore year, going into prior to the UCLA game. So around that third week of the season or something like that. I remember going into, at that time backups were yellow jerseys, and so I remember going to the locker room and my yellow jersey was not in there and a black shirt was in there, and that was that was just the best thing ever. And I had a conversation with Coach McBride. We talked a little bit about it. And he congratulated me, and then Coach Osborne congratulated me along with George Darlington, and never looked back, and always appreciated having the black shirt, because the thing at that time people don't realize is you could lose your black shirt. The black shirt wasn't just something that was given to you and then you just had that for the remainder of the season. The black shirt could be taken, and so it was about consistency. And it was about really playing to the standards that we set. So, so I'm very proud of that moment.
Is having a black shirt, does that mean you just play mediocre football? Like, what is the standard when we're talking black shirts? Because you, Terrell, a bunch of you guys that, I call my friends are all black shirts, and what is that standard of play when you are a black shirt?
Well, its consistency and its toughness are the two things that I would say, separate guys or give guys that opportunity to earn the black shirt. Because, again, the black shirt wasn't always just about the 11 starters. We still had other guys, to your point, even some backups that had black shirts. As a matter of fact, when I had my black shirt, I wasn't even, a full-time starter. I was in the rotation working along with Tony Veland and Moss and those guys. But you could being a black shirt was still just a part of you had separated yourself from the group. But to me, obviously the two things I still go back to is about toughness and consistency. I think were the two things that really come to mind on that.
Terrell, you got anything for Stokes before we throw it the break?
I like what he said.
Okay, yeah, he can't get no better than that, right?
Yeah, it can't get no better. You got to play at a high intensity. Everybody, like a black shirt, we play together at a high level. We got each other back. So E. Stokes helped me. E. Stokes helped me when I came in. Great leader, great person to be around. Just that's what it's all about, being a black shirt.
And T made it easy for me to cover, because we just turned him loose and let him go to work.
So I don't know if you got one more segment in you.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we'll, when we come back, Coach Osborne was just talking about the way we do things, and I was talking about quiet assassins. You know what I mean? Guys that didn't talk a lot as a black shirt, but still would hit you in the mouth. And I when I think about you guys, I'm like, that's why when Coach Osborne was saying, yeah, you know what, you hit him in the mouth, but help him up. And it dawned on me that I forgot that that's the way we did things. We'd hit you in the mouth, but we'd also help you up. Say, okay, we'll see you next play, okay, sir, and tap you.
That was a staple that actually came from Coach McBride. He
Mm.
despised talking. He despised it. So that's funny you bring that up.
Absolutely. We're talking to Eric Stokes, two-time national champion, Washington Commander, Senior Director of Pro Personnel. We'll be back with the captain and
The black shirt.
and
Cove.
the ticket, 93.7 the captain.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few rogue showers a possibility this morning, then becoming partly sunny this afternoon. We'll top out near 90 with a light south wind at around 10. A very isolated chance of thunderstorms this evening. We'll see a low tonight of 66. And really a continuation of the warmth for our Friday. Highs tomorrow again near 90. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson. Sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the captain. The ticket, www.wingstop.com. Brought to you. Listen, thanks again to Carl, to Robert, to Taylor, to all the employees at Wingstop for giving Coach Osborne and teammates that $1,000. I know it'll go in a great place to help out teammates, to help get mentors, to help young men like myself, probably like Terrell, that needed a little bit of boost. Well, like me, let me speak for myself.
Yeah,
Terrell,
for yourself.
Terrell looking at me like my dad was putting that paddle on my back.
Yeah.
You and E. Stokes was getting it by y'all pops.
We had to go pick out our own switch. Shoot. See that tree over there? Go get half of it.
Okay, so I got something for you. I got a surprise for you, E. I'm gonna see if you remember this.
Down in 14. Werfel. Picked off again. Intercepted. Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes making the interception, giving it back to the Cornhuskers with 4 minutes and change remaining third quarter.
Remember that?
I'm thinking that's Fiesta Bowl.
Man, talk to me about playing in that game and dominating Florida, even though they talk so much stuff.
Yeah, I think going into that game, it's funny. We put in 2 blitzes for that game, zone blitzes, which at that time, wasn't a lot of people weren't really using that. It was a staple of the Steelers. Ironically, one of them was called Steeler Blitz, the other one was called Viking. And actually, that interception came off of a Viking blitz that we put in literally for that game, for that system, and Danny Werfel, threw it right to me. But I mean, they had no answer for what we were doing defensively, and they were actually pretty easy to figure out, and they clearly underestimated what we were about going in that game. But I will say this: I remember on the opening kickoff, and I don't know if you guys remember, but on the opening kickoff, we hurt their returner. We knocked their returner out of the game.
Yeah.
So to me, the whole tone of that game changed off of that one hit. And I can't remember who made the tackle, but it ultimately, to me, it shook them up. Like that really actually at that point had them completely rattled because they didn't know what was coming after that.
Straight tone setter. I'm talking to Eric Stokes, 2-time national champ. Washington's got a big job. There's some cuts coming. I remember those cut days and thinking to myself, why are the cut men always ugly in the NFL? The ugliest dudes be the cut men. At least that's how I looked at it anyway. 2 times that I was there and I got cut. So Eric, I'm gonna play. You talked about the blitzes, those 2 blitzes. Pittsburgh, the Steeler blitz, and then what was the other one?
Viking under fire.
Viking, yes.
Let me see if this was one of them plays.
Third down, 15. Look out. Farley. Werfel never had a chance.
Remember that?
Dumped them at the 6.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that, yes, it was, because we were bringing it was either Jamal would be coming or Terrell would be coming.
Terrell was coming off the left side.
Yeah, so but I can't the Viking and the Steeler, and I can't remember which one allowed that guy to come free, whether it was Terrell
I think the Viking was the wheel.
or if it was Jamel, but I will tell you that it definitely was coming off of that, I promise you.
It's so funny that I clipped those 2 plays because those happened kind of right before each other. The first one was Terrell, and then later on in the situation.
Well, and Terrell could tell you, but he would line up like he was over the slot, and it would look like he was going to cover, but then he would just come, and then the safety would just come down and replace him. And literally, Werfel he never saw the blitz coming, and he never saw the safety coming down. And so again, we pretty much played ran those 2 blitzes and almost ran 11 robber the whole entire game. I mean,
Wow.
really, we played them straight man. We weren't afraid. We had Tyrone Williams and Booker out there playing corner, so we were, again, they just underestimated what they were running into that night.
Let me ask you this: when you guys used to, you said, jump around, it'll look this way, 11 robber. You guys are robbing this, robbing that, showing this, rolling to that. Was that something that was taught to you guys? Was that coached up that way, or was that
over time a little bit, but honestly, we were in such, I think, really good sync at that time. We just were able to play off of one another, and I had that same chemistry, whether it was Tony or whether it was working with Minner, so we always really had that in our secondary where we were able to show different looks and disguises. And I know K-State game, I would tell men, hey, run down there, get into the box like you're coming, and he'd fly out and I'd come down. I mean, so we were always, communicating on the back end for one, but I do think that, like, again, just being in that room that we had and just having that kind of chemistry, we were always able to play off of one another.
Wow. That's, because you see you guys, is that a lost art now? Our team's not.
I think the way guys communicate has changed a little bit. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't see. Well, of course. Here's what's different. Obviously, one, the way college offenses are run, no one huddles anymore. So I think the overall lines of communication have changed, right? And that you're seeing so much no huddle offensively that you really don't huddle defensively. All the plays come in from the sidelines, and you really aren't your calls sometimes in the college level now are coming in from the sidelines. And our situation was different because, one, we would always have a soft huddle. Our mic backer, whether if that was Phil Ellis or John Hess or whoever it may be, or on the back end, whether it was myself or Tony Dillon or Mike Minner, we always made calls and checks. So I just think from that point, from that standpoint, the game is just totally different. We had more control and more freedom of what we needed to do.
I just hate the fact that, how offenses, I think Oregon started that, look to the sideline, get the audible or whatever the case may be. I think when I start seeing defenses do that, look to the sideline to get the call, I knew that we were either dumbing down our defenses or something was going on here, Stokes.
Yeah. So, so many things have changed from that standpoint. So, again, I think, it was just a different time where players had a different ownership in terms of, what was being asked of them and how they were going to execute the defense. So,
what's your thoughts, since, we're changing pace, but what's your thoughts on transfer portal?
Yeah, it's complicated. I really do miss, obviously, the kids staying in one place for the whole year. I think that's something look, it kind of gets into a bigger picture, but I think that's just something a little bit cultural that we're missing, that when it gets hard, when you have tough times, to transfer out is an easy way out as opposed to getting it out. I can speak obviously to my story with my injuries, but I also know your journey wasn't an easy journey. I remember you coming up as a young guy, and and the challenges that you had, and kind of finding your way in terms of, finding your niche, finding your role, and then evolving into a team captain. You got T, who came in, from junior college and comes into Nebraska, and initially was in the DB room, and then ends up moving to linebacker. So at all different points, probably as in our careers, we probably had moments where we thought about it or could have transferred him, but it was just a different time, and we all gutted it out and we stayed. And I talk about that resiliency, and I wish we had more of that. I think the transfer portal is, I'm not a big fan of the transfer portal.
Okay, so NIL.
I think we all miss NIL.
30 years too late, doggone it.
Yeah. No, I think the NIL is good for the game to a point. I don't think we know enough about it yet. I'm not ready to make any snap judgments. I'm certainly glad to see players getting compensated on a certain level, but I'm not sure what it's going to mean in terms of the overall good of the game big picture wise. So I'm still kind of waiting to see what that how that evolves.
So we always get razzed. I mean, from way back when all the way to now. How has the last 10 years been for you as far as, you know, you were at Washington and watching your alma mater struggle? Did you get razzed much? And are you still getting razzed?
No, I think it's a little bit different because when people, you know, come up to me, or if I mention that I'm from Nebraska, of course, the first thing everybody wants to ask, well, when were you there? So the second I lay out, well, yeah, I was there 92 to 96. So everyone knows what that's about. I think that's the thing that still is, you know, really cool that people recognize that time. They recognize when you say Dr. Tom Osborne, they know what that means, right? So it's a little bit different. I think right now, you know, when I come across some people and they want to bring up where the state of Nebraska football is, I think everyone's still waiting for us to be relevant and be on that national scene on a consistent basis and get back to where we were. And I think, you know, and I think a lot of people would love to see that. I think, you know, obviously it's easy for the three of us to be very biased, but college football will be better if Nebraska is competing, you know, in the standings every year. So I mean, we all love to see it. We all are hopeful for it, and you know, they'll kick things off here in a few days over there in Dublin, Ireland, right? So we'll get started.
How tough are the decisions of keeping a guy or cutting a guy? Like, what's the gray area to a guy making it in the NFL and not making it?
Well, I think it just kind of goes back to his overall consistency and his overall value to what he can bring to the roster, you know. So, you know, not just relative to his position, but also to special teams as it gets to some of those guys. So, you know, we'll, you know, there's always going to be, you know, 6 or 7 guys that you have to go back and revisit and take a look and really, you know, put their performances under a different level of microscope so you can make sure that you're, you know, separating the apples from the oranges. And you know, at the end of the day, we have to make these decisions no matter how hard they are. So, you know, everything we're doing is obviously, you know, you're always only thinking about what's best for the organization, what's best for the team. And that's all that we can do.
Absolutely.
Hey, Stokes, how different is the practice roster from like now to how it was back in like 90s, like the 96s, 97s? I know the practice roster has changed a whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, we now have 16 players on practice squad. I think when I came into the league, it was only 5 or 6. And so, yeah, again, the league has done a lot of things in terms of giving us more players, you know, really kind of factor in player wellness. And we have so many more options. We also is not limited. I think, you know, there was a time when the practice squad, maybe when I came into the league, you could only be on practice squad for 2 years. Well, now you can sign veterans. It's really kind of unlimited. So you can cast a much wider net in terms of having options and to surplus your roster in terms of, you know, how if injuries play out or if movements need to take place, so on and so forth. So it's entirely different. It's forever changing.
Absolutely. I'm talking to Eric Stokes. You're on the captain. We're on the ticket. It's 93.7. So I want to play one more thing. You got the serious? Let's play this serious real quick. I want to see what your thought process is when you hear this. Is it the same? Is it a little different? It should be in my little catalog.
He's using that.
Oh boy, really? Right in the middle of the show, Nick? Hey, Stokes, these dudes around here, man, you know what? We need to do some black shirt recovery, some type of missions around here. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, I tell you what, we're gonna throw it to break. We'll be right back. It's the captain, the ticket 93.7.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers. Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Clothiers, and Brent Excavating.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few rogue showers a possibility this morning, then becoming partly sunny this afternoon. We'll top out near 90 with a light south wind at around 10. A very isolated chance of thunderstorms this evening. We'll see a low tonight of 66, and really a continuation of the warmth for our Friday. Highs tomorrow again near 90. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back with
It's time to kick
Vershawn
off the Nebraska
Jackson,
high school football.
sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. The captain, the ticket, 93.7 www.wingstop.com. If you're hungry, get to one of our three locations, 50th and O Street, 29th and Pine Lake Road, or 28th and Superior. Tell them I sent you. Oh, and next week, we got the chicken sandwich. Listen. So, E, before we let you go, I got it. Before we let you go, I'm going to play this, and then we'll get your last words on what your thought process is on the season and what you'd like to see us do. Long version.
Oh yeah, let's get you pumped up.
Well, this is a layup.
I like layups. Yeah. You ready? I'm kind of ready to go do some damage. I got one play in the wake up in me.
Better use that against me.
That's still easily one of the best intros.
Right? E, give us your last, your takes on Nebraska football. Good luck on the season, all that good stuff. But give us your take on Nebraska football and what you would like to just tell the Husker fans out there listening to us today.
Well, one, I'm really excited to have Chubb Elvers back in the building as the AD. I think that's a fantastic move that the university made, and I think working with Scott I'm just excited about that and that pair. So as far as we get into it this weekend, I'm excited about where things are. I've actually had a chance. Every once in a while, I dip in and listen to a couple of Scott's press conferences and stay in tune with what's going on. With the team, and I'm liking what I'm hearing from Scott. I think he seems very excited about the group of guys that he has. Probably more sure than he ever has in terms of when just in terms of how I've been tuning in maybe the last couple of years. So I think he's excited to with the product that's going to be on the field, and I'm excited to see these guys this weekend. I'm definitely going to have a chance to clue in on. Check them out on Fox. So I just wish them nothing but the best, and hopefully we can stay healthy throughout the year, because that plays a big part in terms of how the season always goes. So hopefully that all plays out as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric, good luck on your season as well. I'm talking to Eric Stokes. Good luck on your season. Good luck with these cuts, man. Get this stuff all situated and get ready to go, man. And let's see if y'all can't put something on the board as well, man, and get back to the playoffs and winning some divisional championship games, man. But let's check in again. E.
Yes, I'll tell you what, I really appreciate you reaching out and keeping me in mind, man. I'm very humbled and very appreciative for you just reaching out and wanting me on the show, man. So it's good not to be forgotten, to have someone keeping me in mind. And, I always feel bad, because I haven't been able to get back like I want to, because of the nature of the business that I'm in. But I'm glad everyone's thinking about me. I'm glad that you guys are doing well, and much success to your show. And man, look forward to catching up down the road again.
Hey, listen, thank you. We might need to make us a trip out to Washington, because DP that's his area and that's his thick of the woods. But let me say this to you. When we were in Seattle, first of all, thank you for being a big brother to me when we were in Seattle. But remember that place that had the chicken and the cucumber salad little mix? Do you remember that little hole in the wall? Had the rice.
Do. I'm drawing a blank.
Kirkland? Where were we at?
I'm sure it was. Oh man, I cannot remember the name of that place.
Man,
it saved my life right now. But because it was something Shack. But I cannot remember. But I do know what you're talking about.
Well, you took me there, so I know you know what we're talking about. To this day, I remember that place, and I wish we had something like that somewhere else. Eric Stokes, 2-time national champion. Thank you, Eric. We'll be in touch, man, and good luck with the season.
Okay, thank you again, man. Take care. Appreciate everyone.
It was Eric Stokes, man. Golly, I wanted to hold him over a little bit longer, but I figured, he's got bigger and better things to do with making cuts and trying to figure out who's going to be in what position. And when you start getting down to those last, like you said, 6 cuts, it gets crazy.
You would think with his role too, this is it. This is the big time of the year. This is the big deal. It's making the cuts, right? I mean, it's basically his role.
Well, you got to choose the right personnel.
Yeah.
And I want to bring them back once we get the cuts out. I don't want to give everybody too much too soon. It's like giving a baby more than milk.
And I think the thing that surprised me is the 16 practice players. 16.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Man,
but I knew I could have made one of those.
How much do you think they're getting paid now on a practice squad?
Because it was 187 back in like 96.
Not on practice squad.
Yeah.
No. Not on
Hold
practice
on.
squad. That was
80s. It was 80 something.
Yeah, right at 80, 100,000 back in them days. But I would reckon, I bet it's almost a couple 100,000 practice squad.
So what I'm looking at, it says about 9,200 per week. So for 18 weeks, 165,000.
Hey, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Stop
9,000 a week.
You know how good it felt going in there getting them $10,000 a week checks. even though when you got them, it said 10,000, but by the time taxes and everything, because you're in that different percentile.
Tax bracket.
Well, yeah, because it's
Uncle
only
Sam
17
wants
weeks.
a little more.
Oh yeah. So you might get 10,000, but by the time Uncle Sam, it's like 5,800, and you think you got a lot of money. I thought I had a lot of money. Don't listen. You couldn't tell me anything. Don't nobody tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me anything because I was getting $5,800 a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, when I was in Canada, we was getting like 4,000, like 4,800 a week.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, in the long haul, that's not any money. If you don't spread it out and make sure that you have a little bit after the 17 weeks, guess what you're going to be? broke.
With a nice watch and some shoes.
Yeah, that's it. Nice watch, shoes, fancy car.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to figure out, well, how am I going to pay this mortgage?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay this? So
I'm going to go back and work out and stay in a hotel for the
Right?
winter.
You know what I didn't ask E. Stokes too? Is Malachi Coleman's at Lincoln East, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask him about
Yeah, and E. Stokes was one
Well, I
of
wanna-
those quiet assassins.
He was a quiet
He
assassin.
was like a Tony V. Like,
Absolutely.
quiet, and he would hit you.
He'd come take your knees out.
Yeah.
He was the king at trick. I call it trick off diving. You know what I mean? Because if you missed, it was a trick off. But if
he
you
was
hit
good
him,
fundamentally, though. His fundamentals was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would square you up and tackle you, though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he was like the perfect model of how you should tackle, you know.
But I'm so appreciative. I'm gonna see if I can get Chattel on because Chattel's supposed to be on as well. But somehow, some way, I was coming down here, my phone. Maybe it's the SIM card. Bach, maybe you can help me a little
Could
bit
be.
and upgrade us to the next situation. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I know we've been having a lot of text message, but sometimes you get into the meat and potatoes of interviewing a person, and you lose focus a little bit on to text line. So text line, I'm gonna get to you the next hour. But it's the ticket, 93.7. I'm the captain.
I'm the black shirt.
I'm Cove.
Oh, and we out. We'll holler at you in a minute.
The fall sports season is here, and Brown Shoe Fit is celebrating that with a sale on athletic shoes. From now through the end of August, get $10 off any regular priced athletic shoe up to $105, and get $15 off shoes regularly priced at over $105. These are shoe brands including New Balance, Brooks, Hoka, and On. Gear up for the busy fall season today with the athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, located at 66th and Q.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln. It has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order a new John Deere combine during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs, then get it ordered. You can get your new John Deere combine built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
3-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn will get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Wingstop. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Eric, Mr. Stokey, for gracing us with his presence on a Thursday. Usually I'm in the red room, but I knew I was talking to Eric Stokes. I didn't want nothing to go wrong, nothing to go awry. Now, let me talk to you guys about this black shirt shenanigans. Since everybody want to have an opinion about whether or not giving out 9 or 11 black shirts, what's this, what's that. Listen, the 2 guys that didn't get a black shirt are brand new guys from somewhere else that wore a different jersey, a different cover on the back. They got to put the pads on. Terrell, I'm going to ask you a question after this. They need to go out, put the pads on, prove that they're black shirts with wearing our colors. And after game 1, if they do that, they'll have their black shirt. But I don't remember you coming into the set, bruh, with your black shirt, bruh.
Yeah, you wouldn't, because I started off 5th on the depth chart and I worked my way up to get my black shirt.
That's my point.
These guys are coming in starters, though. So the thing I'm just saying, I think it should be 11 people. You got to make 11 is a gang. That's what it is. 11 is a team. Not 9 and not 9.
You can't say that because if you got 2 guys that, and listen, I would imagine that it will change over time as far as who has black shirts.
I don't think this coach
taking black shirts, the whole works. I think it will change over time. But what I'm saying for O'Shawn Mathis, he is a black shirt, but he's got to prove it on the field first, Bach. Once he proves it on the field, come up with a couple of sacks. Guess what'll be in his locker Monday morning? They might give it to him. They might give it to him before they leave Dublin. Yeah. I guarantee they printed already. Same thing with Tommy Hill. Same exact thing with him. There's no different. Tommy Hill's a baller. Do you think I'm worried about him not getting his black shirt? But make him earn it on the football field. Period.
I think maybe it's, between the black shirt thing, the captains, their first year, they allowed a guy walk in to become the captain. And maybe I'm not saying Darian Daniels didn't deserve it or wasn't one of the leaders on the team. It just might be with the change in college football, specifically Nebraska, bringing all those guys in.
Bach, I'm not going to sit here and an offensive guy tell me what to do with a black
shirt.
Yeah,
you are. Yes, you are.
Guy.
You are.
He doesn't, he's an offensive guy. So
why I made a lot of you black shirts. Remember that.
No, sir.
I made y'all, and I blocked against y'all. I blocked against the great Trev Alberts. I blocked against the great Grant Winstrom. I blocked against Christian Peter, Jason Peter. You want me to keep going? I blocked against listen, I made Mike Rucker. There wouldn't be a Mike Rucker without a Vershawn Jackson. There wouldn't be a Chad Kelsey without a Vershawn Jackson. There wouldn't be a young Kyle Vanden Bosch without Vershawn Jackson. So don't you tell me what I can't do, Mr. Farley, Mr. Black Shirt. I said it. Doggone it. We got a day in the wake up. What are you talking about? And let me just say this. If we're talking about number 2s, you got John Livingston, you got Mickey Joseph. There's all kind of number 2s that's out there that we might have forgot about. But anyway, I digress, and I'm going to regress, and I'm going to come forward again. I said it. 9 black shirts. We got 2 guys that in their play, Tommy Hill get a pick. That's a black shirt move. It's starting. But they can't just give it to him, Bob. They can't say Merry Christmas. They made that mistake with Mr. Daniels. I think that's a mistake. A guy can't come off the streets. Listen, we're talking about building our culture back. A guy cannot come in off the streets and become a captain without going through something, without going through some sort of fire, some sort of test. And their test is just make plays at Dublin.
Well, I do. I think it might be somewhat of a message with all these guys coming in. And obviously, we looked at it. The media at least read it. And we'll see how much of this plays out as, a lot of half these transfers are going to be starters. And I think that might be the case eventually. But I think that there's a bit of a message sent through that to say, we still like what we built here. We like the guys that we have here because they've been somewhat overlooked this offseason, but they now got all the captain roles. They got all the black shirts. And so it's all these guys that are coming in. Some of them might be your best players, but it is a little bit of a earn it in the scarlet and cream. And then you can kind of get your reward for it.
Right. What year did you get your black shirt? I mean, what game?
The first game I started.
That's not what that's
the fourth game.
Thank you.
Was it before or after?
Before.
Yeah.
Right. But my point is, Terrell was probably, listen, you don't go to be an All-American after the fourth game. He had that in him in the first game, right? But you had to earn it. Once you earned it, you didn't look back.
No.
But you had to go through the fire for them to give you a black shirt. They could have gave you one, and then you'd have had a big head.
That's the same thing. But the person in front of me never played a game before I got here, and he had a black shirt. So
who was the person first? Wait, who was in front of you?
Ryan Twilliger.
Ryan Twilliger had went through the fire.
Okay, but Ed Stewart was the starter the year before that.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, so the same thing with these two guys. These two guys haven't started the game yet.
It's not about starting the game yet, sir.
Okay.
It's about putting your work in. Those guys, Twilliger, the same. Wait a minute, the same Twilliger.
Starters.
Listen, the same Twilliger that you're talking about. It was the same guy who was on scout team going against Zach Weger and all the other great offensive linemen that he was going against on scout team.
Okay,
so he
what
went.
that has to do with a black shirt?
I'm gonna say it again. He went through the fire. Obviously, you did something that was better at that moment to put you in position to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thing is,
but we didn't give it to you, sir.
Oh, I earned it, and I want these guys to earn it.
They gotta earn it.
Either by earning it at practice or either earning it by being a leader.
Well,
you still need to have 11 black shirts on the field at the same time.
You got 11 black shirts on the
not
field.
9 black shirts, not 9 black shirts and 2 yellow shirts.
Yeah,
okay?
but this is a different season, and I don't believe that they're yellow shirts. They just didn't get their black shirt in Dublin.
So what you wear in practice?
What you mean? They didn't get. I don't know what they wearing in practice. If they got yellow shirts, cool. So be it. Guess what? They have an opportunity on Saturday to raise their level of play so that they can earn those black shirts and earn their way into the room with the rest of you black shirts who earn your way into that room. You wasn't given that room. Stop it.
Do you guys read into anything that JoJo Doman's position, the nickel position? When we talk about starters, that's a new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of taken over college football there. Whoever's replacing JoJo Doman, we don't know who that will be. Could be Chris Kolarovich, could be Gifford. We'll see who it ends up being. Could be Javen Wright for sure. But none of those guys received a black shirt. While guys like, Colton Feast, who has kind of gone through it, been in their position, been, like you said, on the Nebraska team.
From?
UTAN?
UTAN what?
Nebraska.
What did Colton Feast do when he came to Nebraska?
Probably lift weights and
it's
work
called
out.
walk on.
Yeah, walk on.
And he had to get his head busted up for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
He finally played some last year, right? Not only did he have to see what Mr. Beast is, Mr. Beast, the Feast, Feast the Beast. Mr. Feast he's a person that we need on our football team because those are the guys that come from the bottom, that work and work and work and work and earn a black shirt. Those are the ones that are real black shirts. So we don't want to hand out black shirts just to be handing them out like you in the free cheese and butter line. Hey, you get a black shirt. Bach gets a black shirt. VJ gets a black shirt. Nick gets a black shirt. Waka, waka, waka. Just saying.
Hey, like I said, if you want to get the true definition of a black shirt, call Coach McBride, and he will probably set you straight on it. But like I said,
set me straight. I had Coach McBride on, and he told me what a black shirt is.
Yeah, that's
Terrell,
right. Coach Osborne told you yesterday.
Don't get attacked and adjusted. Don't get attacked and adjusted.
Yeah.
All I'm telling you up in here, man.
Worry about the offense.
You got 4 walls in the window.
I worry about the black shirts. You worry about the red.
You're not about to tell me on the captain show, sir, what we gonna worry about, sir.
Oh, I'm worried
There's
about the
gonna be some problems up in here, man. I just told you, gonna be a whole bunch of couch moving.
So I'm gonna wear my black shirt tomorrow, and you wear yours, okay?
You put your black shirt on. Okay. Good. They're gonna. We need that type of energy. Where you look like you've been working out.
No, I'm wearing
came in here flexing.
Me and Coven wearing our corn hats tomorrow.
Yeah.
You putting your corn hat on?
Yeah,
too?
I got a corn hat back home.
What's your prediction up there, Coven?
To beat Northwestern?
No, to beat Nebraska's prediction on the season.
6-6.
Let me find out that every producer has a little something against my Huskers. Is that what I'm listening?
I don't have anything against them.
You're 6-6. Mark is 6-6. Nick was 7-5.
You moved him
He's
up.
Yeah, I moved him along.
You did.
I moved Nick along because he was not a part of the plan.
Yeah,
he was 7-5, 6-6, 5-7, 6-6, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, 10-2. Oh my God, what's really going on?
You really
right?
got into him. Listen, I'm 6-6. I'm doubling their win total and giving them a bowl game.
That's not cool. It's not cool, Bob.
It's not cool.
You got to give him a little credit, don't you?
I'm gonna be cheering. I'm gonna hope for 12-0. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be cheering for 12-0.
Bob, tell me the 6 losses right now. Give them to me.
Well, I mean, first of all, give me Scott Frost's biggest win at Nebraska before you tell me that these losses are wrong. Okay?
Sir, I'm not going to give you his biggest win. There's no bigger.
There's
he don't
no
He
big
don't really
win.
have a big.
He doesn't
win.
have a big win.
Not right now.
Okay.
But guess what? When we beat the brakes off of Northwestern, that's going to be big win number 1, and then we're going to start putting streaks together. Then win 2 because we haven't won. Have we won back-to-back games in Scott Frost tenure? Have we?
Not very many.
Have we? I don't
we
think.
beat Fordham and Buffalo last year.
Perfect. That's
back.
2. But have we won 3 in a row?
No, we haven't.
Listen. So we win 1. We win 2. We win 3. Now going into Oklahoma, we've got a streak going. We got a streak, Pop. Give me the 6 losses.
I don't know exactly how they go, but if I had to project it, I'd say Oklahoma, Purdue, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
So Purdue and Minnesota we losing to.
Lost to them last year.
Terrell, take your shirt off, man. You ready?
No, I'm not.
Take it. Come on, man.
Only the Nick.
No. We might have to double. We can't double Kobe.
Yeah, you want to get called? Kobe.
Oh, you trying?
That's what I'm
here
about.
it comes.
Get a black shirt. There he is, right there.
Whoa.
There he is. Get
He's
in
at
front
his
of the
playing
camera,
weight.
show him.
Oh.
Get in front of the camera and show him again.
There you go.
No, you ain't done with it. You better watch out. I unleashed Farley on you, the real black shirt.
Hey, Scott Frost has a losing record against Jeff Brom and PJ Fleck. I've seen PJ Fleck outcoach him, 3 times in a row now?
Yeah, but we got some coaches in the building now.
I hope so.
We're one big group, one big happy family, one big conglomerate. We're not just the same team, and we don't have what is his number 2?
Number 2.
2 p.m.
Yeah, 2 p.m. You got a headache? Take some 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Not 2 a.m. Yeah. So I'm buying that we have gotten better on all aspects of the game, from special teams to offense to defense. Now listen, Bob, we could watch the game and that could completely change. The wheels could come completely off. But guess what? Not on the captain show. The captain show, we're going to keep the wheels on. And I promise you, I just, in my blood, I know we're getting ready to go out there and dominate Northwestern.
Last year on Tom and Bach, the goal was obviously to get to a bowl game, right? So our mantra for the show was just get to 6. Eventually, that was out of the picture, so we went down to just get to 5. And they didn't even get to 5, obviously. They only had 3 wins total. So, I mean, I'm with you. And I don't think they have to fix all those things. To be a great team, they do. But to be a good team to get to a bowl game, I don't think they have to fix everything. They just need to get better at several of those spots to make up the gap for what they were close to last year. Though I will say this, I think close was last year. This is a brand new team. There's a lot of different parts going into it this year. So they have to make up the gap for getting back to what they were last year in certain spots that, some of the playmakers.
Where?
I'm just saying, like JoJo Doman. You don't have a JoJo Doman. You don't have a Cam Taylor-Britt.
Come on, man.
You don't have a Cam Jurgens. I guarantee you don't have a Cam Jurgens on that line.
Now, if you talk about a whole Cam Jurgens, that's going to be a spot that has to be filled.
Austin Allen, that's going to be tough.
No, you got that tight end again. You got some points.
It's solid.
But we didn't use the tight end as much as we should have until the last game anyway. So I'm not necessarily saying that. I think Vokalek is going to do a great job, and some of those younger tight ends coming up is going to do a great job. I'm not so sure. I think having Tommy Hill and Q coming back, I think that's an equalizer to Cam Taylor-Britt. And I think JoJo Doman, give me all 3 of those guys, and they equal JoJo Doman.
Samari Toure, you got to replace him.
Oh, come on.
Don't come on me. That's
Marcus Washington.
That's a big
Come
time
on.
play threat.
Marcus Washington.
Come on, he gave you one. Do I got to give you Trey Palmer?
You can give me those guys. Put them together. They didn't add up to Samari Total's total last year.
Yeah, but his totals added up to what? And I'm not taking anything away from Toure, but that goes to show you that if Toure can come in from where?
It was Montana or something.
Perfect. Montana State and star at the University of Nebraska, that's a problem in itself.
But he's an NFL draft pick.
I don't care what he is. Doesn't matter.
But he did bail you out of a lot of. I mean, he was your big play threat. You better have one now. You better have a guy that can bail you out of 3rd and 20.
We got a couple, don't we?
I hope so.
And so first of all, I think we're better at the quarterback position. We're way better than that.
That's where the big upgrade is.
And this is where the upgrade comes. We're stable at the running back position. I think we're comfortable with the receivers we got. I think the offensive line is going to have its challenges, but I think they can probably defeat it. Defensive line have to get pressure. Linebackers have to tackle, make fumbles, do big plays. DBs are the strong point of this team, and I'm going to stick with that just because they're too deep and they got some very athletic guys back there, and they're well coached by Coach Fisher. So I think we're in the right position to start off 3-0. I think the battle's going to be against Oklahoma, and I'm not going to give a win-loss on that one yet. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks, but I think the Oklahoma game will decide what direction we're in.
Bruh, the Oklahoma game means nothing.
Okay, so did not Georgia
Northwestern, they mean nothing. Georgia Southern means nothing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to beat Northwestern.
Northwestern is all I'm worried about right now.
Okay, one day in the wake up.
That's it.
That's it.
Bach, it's a day in the wake up.
Oh,
And you know what?
I'm pumped for
You know what? We're going to beat Northwestern by 28 points.
Oh, I hope so.
What do you mean you hope?
Well,
what do you mean hope?
I can't go out there and help. So
35.
Where's this hope coming from?
35-10.
Listen,
Perfect.
You can call me the guy that's not drinking Kool-Aid. I'm trying to drink as much as I can. I'm just saying I've seen 4 years of a product that hasn't turned around. So you have to show it to me. It's no longer, wave the pom-poms. We're going to go 12-0. No, I got to see it now. And I think me seeing it begins on Saturday.
What did you think we were going to do last year? What was your prediction last year?
6-6. That's the respect I give. I'll never predict 5 and 7.
Dang, respect is 6-6.
That's all I can do. When you're not getting to 6-6, all I can do is project upward for you. But I'm not going to go crazy and give you 10-11 wins.
All right, I got to get to the text line, man. I'm like 15, 18 down. You know what I'm saying? So listen, 2280 said, have any of them earned it on the field this year? Terrell, have any of them earned it on the field, meaning the black shirts?
I mean, it don't matter if they earn it on practice field. They can earn it on the practice field. You know, you're still going ones against ones and drills and showing coach how to, just being leaders out there.
Absolutely. And I think I said something about earning that, O'Shawn and Tommy Hill has to earn that on the field. And I meant what I said. I think that these guys that transferred in, just to give them a little bit more of a sense of you belong. They didn't give it to them. They made them want it a little bit more.
Well, football's kind of different from when we played. So, I would play with a chip on my shoulder if I didn't get mine. And you don't know how these kids are today. So, it could help them, it could hurt them. You never know. So,
I hope it helps them instead of hurts them. I hope that they would do what Terrell Farley and countless other black shirts have done, continue to work hard and earn that black shirt. Because like I said, I had to think about that. I was like, Terrell balled out in 95. You were All-American in what year? 95.
Yeah.
But you didn't come in game 1. You were the starter. You did not have a black shirt game 1.
No.
Didn't have one game 2, 3, or 4.
But
or was it 4?
I came in the second play of the game every.
I don't care.
every game.
I don't care. I'm just simply saying you didn't have one. Kevin says, on a serious note, though, does any of the defensive guys deserve a black shirt? 3 wins, 9 losses.
That defense played pretty well, though.
Well, did they?
You got to. I mean, Kenneth Walker's the Doak Award winner. Doak Walker Award winner. You held him down. No first downs in the second half. Oklahoma never scored that low in like 2 seasons. Ohio State hadn't. That was their low scoring game of the year. They kind of wore down at the end. I get that, but I think that the defense played phenomenally. In fact, without Eric Shenander, Eric Shenander and that defensive effort, Scott Frost wouldn't be here. I mean, I don't think there's any way to argue it.
What was that? What would they be? They would have got blank. It would have been 0. They would have went over.
If that defense was really bad, I mean, the wins were the wins. I mean, they were kind of out there, right? They weren't too difficult to get when they did get them, but I don't think the record might have changed too much. But it would have been a lot uglier with a bad defense.
I challenge you because we out yardage a lot of the teams that we played, right? Mm-hmm. But I would tell you, if we had 488 yards of total offense, the opponent had 455 yards of total offense. So did you really stop anybody? If y'all gave up 400 and some yards, forget it. If you gave up 400 yards, y'all might as well rip y'all black shirts off.
We never gave up 400 yards.
That's my point.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, 3-9, offense bad, defense is bad. So doesn't matter.
That's what offense, defense, special teams, all bad.
3-9,
all of them bad. Bach, all of them.
I would say that special teams is a different category of bad.
Let me ask you a question. I agree with that. That's worst.
Yeah.
What's a better defensive football team? Are we better now or last year?
See, that's tough. I hope so now because you've got the pass rush addition to it. But like I said, I don't know if they're going to replace JoJo. How much did he kind of contribute to that? Again, they did somewhat suffer once JoJo left, gave up 200 to Wisconsin, the Iowa debacle. So I think there's I could see it on par. It's really tough to guess right now just because those are some good weapons. The whole defensive line's basically different. I like what they've got there, but they've got to prove it again.
Yeah, listen. There are no participation points. Okay, you don't just because you're on the fringe, you don't get a black shirt because you're close. Doesn't work like that. You either are or you aren't. You either are a black shirt or you're not a black shirt. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. And I'm not talking about the black shirts. I'm talking about these guys: the Terrell Farleys, the Grant Wisdoms, the Jason Peters. Wait, let me go back a little further. I don't even want to do that. The Mike Crowes, the Neil Smith, the Danny Noonans. The Steve Carmers, man, the Mike Knox. Y'all don't want to. Let me stop.
The Jerry Murtaugh.
The Jerry Murtaugh, man. I mean, the Tony Felicis. The who's the coach at Midland? The Jam Hogs. Jeff Jamrod. Shout out to Midlands. What are they? Jackrabbit? What is Midlands?
I don't know.
There's something. Anyway, Jesse says the 10th best player on the defense might not be a starter. For example, he could be the third defensive end. Does he still deserve a black shirt?
No. I mean, I think
that's easy. There it is right there. Kool-Aid Man says, I am entitled. I need a black shirt.
He wants one.
He feels entitled. He's being funny.
I mean, just like Stokes said, man. Stokes said he wasn't even a starter, but your top backups, like I said, I sent VJ a picture yesterday. It was a picture with 22, but we take 4 of them out because, like I said, they were seniors, and we ended up with 17 black shirts.
Yeah, I used more than that. That I would have said was out of that picture. I would say maybe 6 out of that picture. That's just me. I could be wrong. I'm not a black shirt. What would I know? I'm just a Nebraska historian, though. 4663 says, "Hey fellas, I know practices are closed, but from what you see, how do you rate practices now as to your time? Same, harder, less, more intense, guys smaller, bigger?"
I think sometimes they look a little smaller than we did. I don't see the big hogs on the line like we used to have, but everything else looks the same. It's just a little bit of the size. Like we was bigger.
Chill. My mic fell out. Okay. So, this has got to be the biggest line Terrell Farley that I've ever seen.
The biggest what?
Line.
Okay.
They're 6'8". Bryce Benhart.
Yeah, but
Kirk.
They're not. I haven't went to practice this year.
They're not necessarily bricked.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't know if that. Yeah, there you go.
They're just a straight up and down body. Yeah. They don't have the physique like the Christian Peters or the Zach Wiggers. You know what I'm saying? Like those was mountain men.
Which Zach looks really good.
Yeah,
But you guys did like 2-a-days and Oklahoma drill stuff that they can't do anymore.
Well, we never did Oklahoma drill.
Did you not?
Well,
Do you remember doing
no,
Oklahoma drill?
We didn't do Oklahoma.
We never did
drill.
Oklahoma drill, man. Why would Nebraska do
then.
anything called Oklahoma on it?
Well, you could call it something different.
We call it inside run.
No, yeah, inside run drill, 9 on 7.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
what we call it. If you got banished, if you were on a scout team and they told you to go to inside run, dude, you're gonna have a headache because you're gonna run 20 plays and have to deal with the black shirts for 20 straight plays. No pass plays in that at all.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's why I didn't play fullback, because I was like, man, I ain't doing that. Suicide going against the black shirts like that. So when I look at these guys, I think the practices are getting more intense. I think guys are running to the ball better. I don't know necessarily. I don't know if anybody can practice harder than we did, just because of the physicality and the fact that they practice 1, 2, 3 days on, 1 off. Our practices wasn't like that during camp. We was 6 o'clock practice. We come right back at 3 o'clock in the middle of the heat and practice again. So yeah, we just wasn't like that.
I think BJ, that's a good one.
Or is that a good one? I'll give BJ's. BJ says, what if a true freshman cracks the starting lineup to start the season? No black shirt for him until he proves it?
What about Ralph and Mike Brown? I don't know if they started off.
They didn't start the season as
Did Ralph not start?
Ralph did start as
I
a
think
true
he came
freshman.
as a starter.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Ralph was a starter.
No, I don't know if he started. I didn't know if he started.
Look, you played on the offensive side. I played with Ralph.
Listen,
Ralph
sir.
did start.
Listen, sir. What year did Ralph come in?
Ralph came in '96.
Perfect. So when Ralph came in '96, I know he started, but did he start the season as the starter?
I think he did.
It might be right, but I would have to look at that.
So I think did Mike start? Was
Mike who?
Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Mike Brown eventually started, but did he start as a true freshman at safety
I don't think he did.
day one?
No, I don't think.
I don't think either of them did day one. The reason why you knew a freshman could play is because, that's like Erwin Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
Erwin Sweeney didn't start off. He played as a true freshman and started the rest of his games once he started, but he didn't start off the first game as the starter. You still have, think about this. You had 96. We had Mike Nice. We had Booker. I'm just telling you, what are you talking about? That's who we had. Why are you looking at me like that? I know who we had, sir.
So Ralph did come in and start. I think he's one of the rare exceptions.
Maybe he did as a true freshman.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he played 48 games in Nebraska. Started 48 games.
But did he get his black shirt?
I don't remember. That's so long ago.
Ralph, where you at, brother? Where you at, man? I need to talk to you, bro.
CTE.
But that's the other thing is I've talked to Ralph before too, and he said, if Nebraska wasn't who they were at that time, and maybe you guys, you don't want to say against it, but that he might not have had committed to Nebraska. So when you talk about committing, you committed to the national champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was a different level of expectation coming into camp, and when you talk about practices, you got all pros, not all pros, but at least pro players on both sides of the ball, just left and right. You have to imagine those practices, just because of the sheer athleticism and just the talent overall, might have been a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But practice, you got to. I can't express this enough. I just told you about who's the guy that nobody thought was going to get a black shirt this year. What's his name?
Colton
from
Feast?
U10.
Yeah, Colton Feast.
Right. So Mr. Feast, because feast your eyes on this, he had to work. It's not given. Nebraska, you had to work. The fact that they're making these guys work tells me that there's a different mentality about what we're doing. It's not just about willy-nilly and saying, oh, you're a black shirt. No, you got to know what it means to be a black shirt. So obviously the coaches see something that's not there. I thought we had and I guess I had it before, but there's a clip of Shenander talking about both guys, talking about a Feast, and also talking about number 3. What is his name? Help me out. The littlest guy on the team with the biggest heart.
Marcus Buford.
There you go.
Yep.
Marcus Buford. Talking about those two guys being a black shirt. And I'm going to tell you right now, Marcus Buford is more of a black shirt than anybody that I've seen in a long time. Talk about a nasty little dude. That dude is nasty. He's out there hitting people and doing what he's supposed to do. His heart is bigger than life. You guys had hearts of lions, Terrell. You didn't just get that. You just got it. Just somebody gave it to you. Here, let me give you your heart back. No, you went out there and took it, right? Don't get scared now.
I think I
Mr.
got
Black
that quote
shirt.
if you want it.
Yeah, play it.
Shenander.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I thought Marquise could have played last year. Not that he was ready to start or better than one of those guys, but I felt comfortable putting him in the game. This year, he's done everything he's supposed to do. He's played some corner for us. He's played some safety for us. He's done everything right, and he's really deserved one. Colton Feast has done it the hard way. Probably one of the most favorite ones for me to give. He came here. He's a walk-on from Utah, Nebraska. He's had to work hard at it. He's done it the hard way, and he's kept fighting. He kept getting better. He's kept grinding, and he's really proved that he belongs, and he's proved that he should be out there with the ones right now.
Did they ask him why didn't O'Shawn and Agent Zero get a black shirt? Was that question asked?
I can see. I don't remember a quote from that, but I can look.
While you look at it, I'm going to read a couple more. Granted, the guys work out. I'm more impressed that they still fit in their black shirts from college. I talking about y'all.
Hey, Terrell's in his playing weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Under playing weight.
There you go.
That's ready, boy. How fast you think you can go? 4.4?
4.2.
That's a lot. Mr. Unlimited 7-5 says Bach is 100% on the button. I am saying 7-5, but will probably be 6-6. We are all cheering and hoping for 12-0, but that's not happening. I'm not hoping for 12-0, but I ain't hoping for 6-6 either.
I'm hoping for a better team than last year. That's all I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping for better play, better team.
I want to see progression. I
Right.
want to see people run to the ball. People, just no jumping off sides, no stupid penalties, and just a well-coached machine like the old Nebraska.
Well, I mean, if you listen to Coach Osborne, you would know that he was talking about being a well-coached machine.
Yeah.
That's all he talked about. He didn't talk about wins and losses. He said that. It's not about the wins and losses. It's how you play the games. What you do out on the football field. Did you lay it all out there? Or did you leave a little bit on the sideline? Did you leave a little bit over here because you weren't focused? Chase B11-2 says, COVID is drinking the Rico hate juice. Are you, COVID?
No, I'm cheering.
Let me find out you got a big gulp over there.
Rico is Nebraska #1 hater.
Oh, I know he is.
Okay, so Tiny Pig 6-6. Okay, Tiny Pig, at least you're 6-6. Why is everyone overlooking Northwestern? Let me just say this, okay? Because
and that's kind of a good question because
it's a great question.
What are we gonna do if that does happen?
Yeesh.
Man, y'all stop that.
I mean,
stop talking
anything.
like that.
You didn't say that when Northern Illinois came here a couple of years ago and posed for pictures on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? They was in your end zone taking pictures, and we weren't supposed to lose that game.
We saw what happened there.
Bruh, listen. The wheels were off last year. Stop. Last year's over with. Guess what's getting ready to happen in a day and a wake up?
2000.
Come on, man. We got the pep rally tomorrow. We got the tailgate on Saturday. If y'all want to come out at 9 o'clock. We're going to have free food. We're going to be kicking it. The captain will be here.
The black shirt will be here.
Cove will be here.
Man, Nicholas will be here. Hopefully the whole team will be here. DP, Jay Foreman, Stricky, Stricky will be in the building.
He's out of Europe.
Oh, he is in Europe.
Yeah,
He's Croatia.
Yeah, different places before the game.
Dude,
Turkey.
That dude's like Batman. He everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, it's the captain. Well, wait. Before I send it to break, I just want to say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I like that right there. I like how you're doing that right there, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny Pig, Ray, Tater, Drumstick, 1129, Corey and Lincoln, Psych, Kevin, 1961. All yours and more when we get back.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bakoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavating.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It's time to kick off the Nebraska high school football season. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainert, and join me for a Thursday night matchup as the Lincoln East Spartans host the Kearney Bearcats at 7 p.m. Then Friday, join DP and myself for a doubleheader. We kick things off at 4:30 with Lincoln Southeast taking on Elkhorn South, and the nightcap featuring the Lincoln High Lynx and the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks around 8 p.m. That's this Thursday and Friday on 93.7 The Ticket, your home for high school football.
High school football is sponsored by Southeast Community College, Members Owned Credit Union, Union Bank and Trust, Mosaic of Southeast Nebraska, Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office, and Gaina Trucking.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A few road showers a possibility this morning, then becoming partly sunny this afternoon. We'll top out near 90 with a light south wind at around 10. A very isolated chance of thunderstorms this evening. We'll see a low tonight of 66, and really a continuation of the warmth for our Friday. Highs tomorrow again near 90. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah. Just bust the move. If you want it, we got it. If you want it, we got it. The captain. Black shirt.
Cove.
It's the Ticket 93.7, man. We doing it freestyle. I almost said Freestyle Friday, but it's Thirsty Thursdays. Get you something to drink like some water.
Tomorrow is corn hat tomorrow.
That's
corn
right.
hat Friday.
Corn Cob Friday. Okay, so listen, Ray 10-2 says only 28 points. Why are you being negative, Vershawn? Just because I'm being modest right now. It should be 28-0 in the first quarter. The first quarter, it should be a blowout. That's just me saying. Tater 10-2. Didn't North Dakota State just have a 39-game win streak?
North Dakota State's quite a football school. I don't know what we're bringing them up for. We're playing North Dakota, not North Dakota State. If that's what he's worried about.
Drumstick, Bach is right. You guys are drinking too much Kool-Aid. 7-5, go Big Red.
Hey, at least you threw in a go Big Red.
Yeah, well, wait. Drumstick, you're 7-5. Bach is 6-6. It's a difference.
There is. That's a big difference.
That's huge. 7-5, 6-6.
I want it to be. I want it to. I don't want it to be this way. But if they go to a bowl game at 6-6, there's quite a bit on that bowl game, isn't there?
Well, I'm just saying.
Winning season.
Not really. I mean, 6-6 to me is a losing season. If we go 6-6, I might come unglued.
What if we finish 7-6 after the bowl game? That's a winning season.
I don't like it because that means we lost to some bums.
Yeah.
We lost to Purdue. We lost to Minnesota.
Those are 9-win football teams.
Yeah. I don't care who they are. That was by anomaly because we were down. We should be.
Yeah, we helped a few teams get to 9 last
Thank
year.
you.
Didn't we?
There's no way we lose these games if we do what. Okay, so Terrell had a great take off air, and I'm gonna let him have the floor real quick and just give me his take on the Nebraska defense last year. Since we're talking about last year, and I promise I won't bring it up after today.
Well, the thing we was talking about was my part was the disappointment of third down conversions last year, and my point was late in the game when we needed the defense to really step up, and it was 3rd and 18, they would get 19 yards. So that is not the bend not break policy. You know what I'm saying? So what I was saying is that they got to get better on third down efficiency to be a complete defense. I'm not saying that it's a bad defense, but you have to be a great defense on third down to win more of those games.
You got breaking news?
No.
You got a breaking news deal?
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Nick didn't show you where the breaking news was.
I think it's somewhere over here.
There's somewhere up there. This just in. Breaking news on the Captain Show with the black shirt and Coven on the ticket, 93.7. We've got a living legend in the broadcast and media field that just called in. We want to talk to him a little bit. Mr. Tom Chattel. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Hi, what's up?
Tom, we're going to just hit it quick. We're going to hit it quick. What's your thoughts about not giving 11 black shirts and only 9?
I don't really care about it. I mean, I think you guys probably care more about it than I do. I guess I think you should probably do them all at once. I mean, if you're going to do them at all, I don't understand not giving them to the guys who weren't here before. I actually thought it was pretty cool that they did it over there. But yeah, I mean, is it going to matter in the game? No, but I think you should probably do them all at once. But it's not like does it mean the new guys have to earn it or something? I don't know.
Tom, what do you give me your thoughts on this Northwestern game? Win, loss. What do you think we need to do to win?
Well, not turn it over and not make. They've got to find a way. I think if they score 21 points, they're going to win. I don't think Northwestern's going to score that much, but I just think Northwestern is like a mirror. They show you who you are. They don't really. They make you make the plays. They don't make mistakes. They don't really do much either. But if you have flaws, if you're not clean, if you're sloppy, it'll show up against Northwestern. So I think we'll know right off the bat if this is a different Nebraska or not. So I think they just need to come out with a solid game plan and not make mistakes. But I'm really curious about that offensive line, guys. We haven't seen much about them. We haven't heard much about them, and I mean that's going to be interesting.
Do you feel like that offensive line is the weakest group as far as position goes?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they are, but I don't know that they're necessarily weak. I don't know if they are weak. I don't know anything about them. They haven't said much about them all. And of course, that's probably true about the whole team. We really haven't seen anybody play yet, but I think that offensive line is going to take a while. And I look at the second half of the schedule, guys. And if they can be good or serviceable, or I guess not a problem by October 15th when they start playing the big boys in the league, I think that'd be good. It's just a question of can they stay healthy and can they find five guys and gel together. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen on Saturday.
Right.
And in the meantime, can they find I don't know if they have a big time running back. I don't know if that's Grant, but if they can get a really good running back, that would change the whole team. If they could get yards on the ground and have a guy who's consistent and he gets tough yards on third down, but he can also break away. that would just change everything, and it would help the line too.
Tom, how much do you think we can take away from this game, considering Nebraska? I mean, this was the one opponent Nebraska was able to beat in the Big Ten, and quite soundly. If they do that again, does that mean that they've taken steps, or is it going to be a hard read after week 0?
I still think it's a hard read because there's so many moving parts. New play caller, new quarterback, a lot of new players on offense. It's not going to be perfect Saturday, and I've been dealing with people, emailing me and telling me that this is the biggest game of the year. That if they lose, the season's over. And I'm just like, man, if the season's over after one loss in August, what kind of program do you have? I think they're going to be tougher than that, and I think they will be tougher than that. I think if they lose, it's not over. I think it's still beat Oklahoma. I think this might take a few games to get things sorted out. They don't know who's going to play. Who can they trust? Who can they depend on every play? That might take a few games. And so I think this team might develop and get better as the season goes.
What type of grade will you give this team going into, not knowing what we don't know, but what kind of grade would you give this team? And do they have an identity?
I don't know. I don't know. See, that's what we got to figure out. I'm not sure we're going to figure it out Saturday. Now, maybe we'll take big steps to find out. If they come out and they go over the top with Casey Thompson going deep to Trey Palmer, whoa, won't that be fun? That'll be a wrinkle that we necessarily haven't seen. I think all kinds of things. If they come out running the ball, if they have a running back, if that defense is causing havoc and getting turnovers, if there's sacks, if and that's another thing too. We have to talk about the offensive line being weak. We don't know about the defensive line yet either, and stopping the run. So there's a lot of questions. I think the identity will be a few games in the making. And I don't think a great win Saturday necessarily means it's going to be clear sailing. But I don't think a loss or. I think what we need to see, guys, is just no mistakes. Special teams that come out and just pop somebody in the mouth. Act like you want to be there. Playing smart, playing hard. That's what I want to see Saturday. And I think if they do that, they'll win. So I do think that this could be a few games in the making.
Tom, you've been around for a long time. What are some of the differences? If you've been around, so talk a little bit about the teams, the championship teams, and what those teams meant to you. What type of teams were those back then? And if I know there's differences, and I don't want to. I think that's the unfair comparison. But forget the wins and losses. What's the difference in the teams just in general?
Yeah, well, I've been around. It means I'm old, man. I'm old, but I love it. I love the game. I love Nebraska football and being around it. I didn't appreciate what I saw when I saw it, and I'm the first one to admit that. We had a front row seat to all-time football, not just the wins, just the way they played, the way the standard, the everyday standard. We were there every day. You guys were certainly involved in it, in the middle of it in the locker room. But those of us who were lucky enough to be at practice and interviewing you guys and writing about it, being around it on the road, it was just special. The Nebraska football, and I've said this for the last 20-some years, and I wish I would have, I always go back and I kick myself when they fired so much. I didn't realize this then. I took it for granted. I said, it's going to go on forever. Nebraska is Nebraska because it's Nebraska. Well, no, it was Nebraska because the way they did things. And it wasn't about 9 wins. It was never about the number of wins or the championships. It was about how you did things every day. That added up to the championships. And when they were they had the culture in the late 80s, 90s when people were kind of losing their minds a little bit. They couldn't beat Miami or Florida State, and Colorado started winning the Big Eight. But they upgraded the talent level and they plugged it into the culture. That made things go up. But they always had that way of, we're not going to. We used to joke in the media. We used to, Nebraska. We used to call them robots. They never made mistakes. They were like the Terminator. They never blinked. They come out and just destroy you early, and just keep going. And I know I see the other Big Ten teams doing that. I'm saying, wait, this is just to be Nebraska. Why Nebraska is now getting beat by the teams of the same style that they used to have. So, I really took that for granted, and I'm kind of sorry I did. I think it's just natural to think that it's going to go on forever. But it was the way they did things, and I really appreciate that now. And so I'm really, and when I think back on over all the years, I'm really glad I was part of it.
Absolutely. What's your prediction on the season?
I'm going with 8-4. I have no reason to say that other than that they've got, I think, proven playmakers. They've got guys I think are going to get in the end zone. The offensive line bothers me a little bit, but I think they've got to get confidence. They've got to get a little swagger going. We always forget what this place is like when they're winning, and it's like a giant tidal wave over the whole state. Everything's better. Everybody's happier. There's just a swagger that goes with it, where you know every week you're going to play well, and Nebraska has forgotten how to do that. One thing that would kind of worry me a little bit on Saturday is something. There's still this mentality a little bit that if something goes wrong, here we go again. And they need to get beyond that. And I think 8-4 is not that far away if they can get. And again, I think Saturday's big for that. I'm telling you, if they could beat Oklahoma in a few weeks, at the top 10 team, a big name at home. I mean, you guys remember what it's like to win one of those games at home. I mean, people don't want to leave the stadium. It's incredible. So it would just change the whole dynamic, the feeling of the not just the team but the state. And I think that, but I measure that against they got to go to Purdue and they're pretty good. They've already sold out that game October 15th against Nebraska. So they're ready. They might win the West. Minnesota, they might win the West coming here. In the last three games, we talked about this. If you want a narrative on what people are going to think about Scott Frost in this season, the last three games are right there. And they're unbelievable. At Michigan, Wisconsin, at Iowa. And if you lose all three of those, it's like, here we go. We still can't beat those teams. What did we do this year? And you go to a bowl game, but you still didn't beat those teams. I think you got to, the Wisconsin-Iowa thing especially, you got to get at least a split. And it's going to be tough. Anytime Wisconsin has a really good running back, they're good. That's just how they roll. And Iowa's Iowa. They've got Nebraska's number right now, and they don't think they're ever going to lose Nebraska again. So there's some hurdles ahead. But I think this team gets some confidence, and the playmakers make plays. And that defense, I think, can really carry the whole season too. I like the additions on the D line. The linebackers I think are going to be freed up to make plays. I think they can go 8-4, but I'm always wrong.
Well, we hope you're wrong, in that we get better than 8-4, Tom.
There you go. Yes.
Right. I'm talking to Tom Chattel. Tom, before we go, we're at the top of the hour, but before we go, who you liking in high school football?
Well, my daughters go to Elkhorn South, so I kind of follow them. But I'll tell you what, the Omaha, the top of Class A in Omaha is really incredible. And I watched Creighton Prep last week lose to Bellevue West in a really good game. Now they got to turn around and play Westside this week, and then it's tough. Gretna, I don't know where Gretna came from, but that little town on the edge is dominant in a lot of sports, and they can play football with anybody. So it's good. It's the top of Class A is really good and it's deep. We're all kind of sitting around waiting for the playoffs to start and wait.
I'll tell you what, Tom, man, I appreciate you. I hope this ain't the last time I want to make this consistent and have you on. You know so much. I didn't get you early. I kind of got you late. I ran a little over with East Stokes, but I definitely want to bring you back when we got more time because I got about 20 more questions that I wanted to ask you, not just about football, but just about your career. Huh?
You sound like me. 20 more questions.
Heck yeah, man.
I used to keep you guys late.
Right. So I appreciate that, Tom, and we'll definitely be in touch. But throw it the break. Right. Tom Chattel, the captain, the ticket, 93.7. We'll be right back with the takeover.
Thanks, guys.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
Yeah, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, anything, you need to tell an adult, someone you know and trust. That can be hard, but speaking up about a problem is what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Wait till I get my money right. Oh,
Back with Vershawn Jackson, sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes. This is the part. I know Rico was kind of scared to come in on the takeover. It's the takeover, Rico.
Scared of nothing.
It's still the takeover.
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'm gonna get rid of. I
tell me
ain't
nothing.
scared.
This isn't even
Ain't
wa-
nobody tell
This is
me
a VJ
nothing.
intro. This isn't even this. Is this your last break? Is that what we're getting in?
That's what's going on here.
Oh, that's all it is. We're just getting your last break in. That's all it is. This ain't no takeover.
Tyler, this is a takeover.
This is just you. This is just you being bad with time.
This is takeover.
That's all it is.
This is takeover. Just told you, Rico. To take over. Tyler 8
whatever you want to call it to make yourself feel better.
I'm just going to read these so we don't have
This
to
is
go
my
out.
time. I don't even know why you're still here.
I know. Okay, so VJ, I asked a long time ago, have you had any recent updates on Ralph Brown? Tyler, not yet. I'm going to do a little bit more investigation and see if I can come up with something, though. Okay? You got my word on that. And Chris Ralph said Ralph started the first game.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. Raph. Historian.
Raph and Ralph.
Ralph and Ralph. Ralph and Raph.
Ralph and Ralph. Does Terrell want to coach the Cornhuskers? Terrell, you listening? Do you want to coach the Cornhuskers?
Black shirt coach.
He should be handing
Maybe a
out
black shirt coach. They should be handing out just black shirt coaches.
Have black shirts too.
Some type of anyway. Dave Braska says, doesn't it look weird for an offense to see black shirts and yellow shirts on the opposite side of the scrimmage? Negative, because we either had red or white on. Didn't matter who had what color that jersey was.
The quarterbacks wear green back that day,
Rico.
too?
Why are you saying my name? What did I do?
Just because you're standing
Talking
here.
to
So I
me.
just wanted to say Rico.
You know, I know this.
I miss you,
I
Rico.
know this. I know you do. Everybody
He
does.
said, I know you do.
I'm very important.
I know you do. That's the only reason why
I heard
miss
you talking trash about me earlier.
He did.
What?
I was just saying you're a Cornhusker hater?
Yeah, I heard that.
I didn't.
It's okay.
I just read what it said on the text line.
You could have censored it.
You listen.
You don't have to read everything they say.
Just like I got this big thing of water right here. You drink a glass of this a day. It's called Haterade.
Why? Why do I drink?
I don't know why you do.
No.
Ask yourself that. Why do you?
Why do you think that I drink Haterade?
Just because if we're talking positive, you always want to play devil's advocate.
What's your season prediction?
8-4.
Wow, you moved up. He's moved up.
Give me some, Rico.
No.
Whoa.
You called me a hater.
Rico, you're not a hater.
You don't give high fives. to that
Rico,
kind of hater.
Rico,
Nah.
you're not a hater, Rico. I'm sorry.
No, it's too late. You already said
Can I
it.
apologize?
No, it's too late. You already hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
You already hurt my feelers.
You're in his feeties.
You and
I'm in my feet.
you and Waka 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 Waka. You know who says that?
Yeah, Fozzie Bear.
Waka 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 Waka.
I think it's the other bear, isn't it?
No, it's Fozzie
Is it
Bear.
Fozzie?
Bear.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is
Oh
Fozzie.
no, it's definitely Fozzie Bear.
What was the other bear?
Waka Waka.
The Cookie Monster?
I
There
thought
was
there
no
was
other-
another bear in that
No,
group.
Fozzie Bear's the only bear in that
Oh, he's
group.
the only bear?
There's
What?
Gonzo. He's an alien though.
Oh.
He likes chickens.
Animal.
Like he likes chickens though.
Pecan
Gonzo
Pie.
eats 'em?
Pecan Pie says K-State bus rolling down Highway 77 in Lincoln.
No, it's not.
Where are they going?
Nowhere. They don't have a week 0.
That could be a different, that could have
They
a
ain't
track
going
team
nowhere.
or something on there. I
Ain't
don't
no
know.
track meets yet. Could be soccer.
Could be
Could be
soccer.
like a preseason softball. I don't know.
Corey Lincoln says, did I just get a psych? Where the hell did that come from, VJ?
Psych.
Listen, it was just Corey. It was just the perfect time for me to use it, man.
Those are good back in the day when people said that all the time. It's like,
Hey, but Corey Lincoln
Hey, you know
says,
how many times Nebraska said that last year during their football season?
What,
we
psych?
go win this game. Psych.
oh, you're excited? It's like,
We're about to beat a top 10 Michigan State team. Psych.
Corey, no disrespect. So anyway, shout out to all the real fans that bet the over 7.5 wins.
I wouldn't bet it, but I think that's gonna hit.
Putting our money where our mouth is. Go and be red. I said he did.
Look, it's gonna be an interesting season. We have no idea what's gonna happen. So, and these first 3 games are gonna tell us nothing. So it's gonna be really interesting.
Josh from Dorchester says, "Damn, I need to catch up with the Captain Show more often. Y'all speaking gospel.
Preach.
Gospel or just happy times?
Hey, you going to Ice Cube tonight?
I'm not. Unfortunately, I did not get my tickets.
Negative, Byron. No
I got
one's going to Ice Cube in here.
I got Bert Kreischer tickets for my birthday.
Did you really?
Yeah, he's gonna be in Omaha on my birthday.
Who's
Happy
that?
birthday.
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
He's the machine. The comedian takes his shirt off before he starts his sets. He's hilarious.
Bryce says prediction. First 6 drives of the game, 3 for each team, 2 touchdowns and a field goal for Nebraska, and a 3-and-3, a 3-and-out for Northwestern.
3 and outs for Northwestern.
3 3-and-outs for Northwestern.
I mean, I think they get a couple first downs.
Maybe.
I don't think they score. I hope they don't score.
We got a better kicker this year. They can get some field goals.
Yeah.
Jay Lincoln said, I got us at 6-6, and I'll beat y'all in the 40 and the 400. Well, bring it on, Jay. Ain't nobody scared. Ain't nothing between us but space and opportunity.
Negative Ghost Rider.
And it's Mike.
That's
You
a
running a 40. You
That's a
running
negative
40?
Ghost Rider. Yeah, I'll run a 40.
Okay, let's go.
I'll
Jake.
smoke them all in a
talking
40.
that
Neither
stuff.
of you guys have ran that 400 you've been talking about. You made Nick go do it.
I never said I was going to run it. Me and Nick literally had this conversation,
never gave a date.
and he was talking about running it, and I said, I'm not going to do it.
I never gave a date.
Yeah.
He's never going to run it. He
Hey,
said he was going to, but he won't.
1503 says Nebraska starts 8-0. November will decide if it's a great season or
Now, I'll take 8-0. I'd take 8-0 if they even go 8-4.
I think they're going to start 7-1, and then they beat one
Can
of the
we
last
go
4.
on a 4-game skid and that work?
I don't want to, but 8-4 is a step up regardless.
What I'm saying, could you go on a 4-game skid and it work?
That is a depending on what bowl game you land on, and if you win it, that is a sour taste in your mouth going into the offseason.
Right? A 4-game skid.
Because you think, oh, we won 8 games in a row, like that's awesome, but you also lost 4
That's like
in a row.
That's Mike Riley's good year when he went 9-4.
Yeah, he got them up to top 10, and then they lost to Wisconsin, and then they got blown up by Ohio State, and then it was
destroyed by
fun.
Iowa.
Yeah, just a great old time. Matthew and Hickman on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Question for VJ. Matthew, what's up?
Hey, fellas, thanks for taking my call. Appreciate everything you guys do. Got a question for the captain if you have a second, man. I'm wondering, as a former player, which game on this schedule do you look at, taking it back to your playing days and think that's the one? I know all of them, obviously, looking from a competitive standpoint, but what's the one as a player you're eyeing as our current schedule and saying that's the one we got to go get? I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate you guys, and go Big Red.
Appreciate it, Matt. For me, it's Michigan in the big house. It's Michigan. You got to go to Michigan on the road, 100,000 people, and get a win. We do that. To me, it catapults us for the other 2 cream puffs.
I also got to ask you about that because I don't know how. I mean, I know when the buildup comes, we'll talk about it more. But 25 years since you won that title, Michigan split with you. Is there something extra on that line? Does it feel like it this year?
Yeah.
Since it's 25 years.
Yeah, I think. Well, because we really wanted to play. Like we was asking Coach Osborne, "Hey, Coach, can you call Michigan, see if we can put a game together so we can figure this thing out?" Like we really wanted to play to decide who was the best team. So to us, 25 years later, we get an opportunity to go to Michigan and play Michigan. Nobody's giving us a chance to win. If we can do that, I think that rights all ships.
Yeah. But if they lose, then that doesn't mean anything for 1997 because it doesn't.
Well, we want them to win just because.
Right. We want them to win. I'm just saying if they lose. If they lose, that doesn't represent 1997.
No, we'll stand by the road and cheers the winners go by.
There you go. Yeah.
But day by day, we're getting better and better.
Better and better.
Team can't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Won't be beat.
Crazy.
Yes.
Y'all ready?
That's the best.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Dear Lord, in the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, in the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance that's fair.
We ask for a chance that's fair.
Chance to equal all your stripes.
Chance to equal strife.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
If we should win.
If we should win.
We by the code.
Be by the code.
With our faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
If we should lose. We'll stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
And cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
Getting better and better.
Better and better.
Team can't be beat.
We can't be beat.
Won't be beat.
That's awesome. Did you lead that? Did you lead that as a captain once in a while?
I did not.
Never? Oh, man.
I'm trying to think. I think I could go back and I used to be able to tell you who did it. I know. I want to tell you Matt Hoskinson did it our senior year, who was a senior and a leader. I can't remember if Jared Tominger, who did it our junior year. I have to ask that question. I know 95. Gosh, I can't remember who did it that year either. 94 was Dwayne Harris. 93 was Dwayne Harris. And that's all I really remember. But I don't. Yeah, no, I didn't.
But you have the whole thing memorized, though.
Of course
That's why
do.
I figured maybe.
I can't get that out of my mind.
Absolutely.
It's ever ingrained in my mind.
And the way that you won those, I mean, you won all the games basically you played. Did that feel like the start of it? That felt like, okay, here we go.
There was no smiling as the winners went by because you were the winners.
Yeah, but we had to have Coach Osborne said it yesterday, Bach. That the way we thought about our teammates, our opponents, was not as you're my enemy. You're just not my friend right now.
You're just in the way.
And you are stopping me from getting to my goal.
Yeah.
So you can either get out of the way, let me go get my goal, or I'm gonna go through you. It was that was the different mentality for us. Is we didn't want to lose.
Move or you will be moved.
Or removed. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna keep on going real quick. Where am I at here? Terrell Farley getting into part of the deal too, huh?
He's coming on Saturday, yeah. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Since when did the Cookie Monster become a bear?
Cookie Monster's never been a bear. Cookie Monster's always been a monster.
Breezy Scott was Breezy Scott.
He never been a bear because we talk about Fozzie Bear and then
you got
podcast if there was a different bear. No other bears. I don't think so.
Not in the Muppets.
I don't think so. There might have been one. There might have been a bear, but I don't know what his name is. He's not that important.
Who? Hey, Tater 10-2 said, did Bach really just ask who? Birdie Boy? What? Who?
Birdie Boy.
Who is-
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, I don't know that guy.
He's hilarious.
I'm not going to get involved in that. Chase B, if you really want to hit Rico in the fields, say DP does it way better.
Does what way better?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What just happened,
Did
Chase
that get
B?
you? Did it get you?
What just
I
happened,
don't know.
Did it
I don't know what
work?
he's talking about.
If Nebraska goes 8-0, they will finish with 9. Really?
Yeah.
So they beat one of the last 4. So they finished 9-3.
Dude, no, I started out with 9-3 at the beginning. And then I drank some of the sweet Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm at 10-2. And I'm sticking with 10-2. I can't tell you who the losses are going to be.
I was about to ask you, who are the 2 losses?
Well, it's one of the 4. I think we beat Oklahoma, and I think we beat Michigan. There might be a letdown, coming off of that high. But to me, and again, I am drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't see why we can't win out compared to what we did last year against the teams that we're talking about. We didn't have a very good football team. All 4 of those games that we're talking about, last year we lost because we turned the ball over. Or we would have won. So I don't know necessarily that I'm necessarily buying it. Ham and Beans 93 says, huh?
But you didn't.
Anyway, Black Shirts turning into Bone Thugs this weekend.
That's right. If they were here. But...
Yeah. Augie, if we start 3-0, do they have us ranked to make the Oklahoma game more interesting?
No.
I don't. That's a long.
You're
lot to
like I
make
said,
up.
those you will figure out nothing in those first 3 games.
Well, I don't know. You will figure out some stuff.
You'll figure out some stuff. Yeah.
You're gonna know what the heck is going on.
At least know some.
Bird in Columbus.
Well, you'll know who you're starting running
Read
back.
that
maybe.
box and see what Bird in Columbus is. I can't really see it that good.
He says 8 minimum, book it. He's looking for 8 wins.
Oh, 8
Okay.
minimum. So Nebraska wins 8, you win X.
Oh yeah, he put $5 down for 50. I think.
Oh, look at you.
Maybe I should put 50 for 500.
There you go.
50, nice little 50 piece.
So they got Iowa at 7.5 too. Nebraska
Interesting.
and Iowa at 7.5. Could come down to Black Friday.
I'll be there.
Oh,
I'm going to that game.
Oh yeah,
that game's gonna be one of the best games ever. Husker driver. Do they still say that in the football team before the games?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Now, I don't know if they say it like that, but they say it. Dear Lord, in the battles we go through life. Let me stop. I can't get it out of my mind.
Don't do it again.
Dear Lord, in the battles we go through life.
Battles go through life.
We ask for a chance that's fair.
We ask for a chance that's
a chance
fair.
to equal all your stripes.
A chance to equal all your stripes.
A chance to do it dare.
A chance to do it dare.
If we should win.
If we should win.
We stand by the code.
Stand by the
For
code.
our faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
If we should lose.
If we should lose.
We stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
And cheer as the winners go by.
And cheer as the winners go by.
But day by day.
Day by day.
We're getting better and better.
Better and better.
The team can't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Won't be beat.
Oh! Go Big Red.
Hey,
Go Big Red. Go Big Red.
Bach is feeling it.
There you go.
Baby.
7-5. 7-5.
Oh my goodness. What is
It's the
happening?
takeover.
What is happening?
It's the takeover.
What is going on?
All right, hold on.
We better
hold
get
on.
out of here.
I gotta get out of here, dude.
This is not my water
Hold
cooler.
on. Let me just go.
What is happening right now?
Love the image. Yeah, Rashawn, you finally got me. Bump my prediction to 9-3. Listen, 9-3. Eric, thank you.
You can't change your prediction.
Yeah, he did already.
He
It's
did.
too late.
No,
Yeah.
we locked it in as soon as fall camp started.
Hey, Matthew and Hickman, playoff team. Let's go. Kelsey, Mississippi Mud Dog, smash. Bryce, day by day, getting better and better. T can't be beat. You already know the rest. Holla at your boy. That's it for me. We're going to be on Grand Island, the pep rally, the captain, the ticket, 93.7. Holla at your boy, Rico.